What is going on, YouTube? It's Final Boss back with another video. And we got a 12 win. That's right. The 1 and 2 side by side with the complete scumbag Xbow deck. And appears to be all the meta decks are winning currently. So, you know what? Hadn't really tried it. Played against them. I hate them. I really do. I've beaten a lot. I've lost to some. Whatever. 22,000 gold. Okay, let's go. 61 minion horde. 125 bomber. 2 tornado. Alright, 25. We need to get, what, 11 epics. 267 on the knights. That's a whole crap ton of arrows. Ice golem. Come on, epics. Let's go. Sorry. But we're going to get an epic. Come on. No, we're not getting an epic. We are going to get a legendary. We are going to get a legendary. What will it be? What do we want? What do we want? We want graveyard. Or a lumberjack. We'll take it. Not bad. Alright, so guys, there it is. Alright, we got a legends out of there. And here is our scumbag Xbow deck. It's kind of the popular one, I guess. I don't know if that's a different variation. We just kind of picked one up and we went with it. So let's go on ahead and look through our battle log. Let's go on ahead and look at this dude's No, we'll come back to that one. All right. Oh, there's a molt win. Okay, let's go through our 12th win. That was our one loss there. And this was our 12th win. We'll share it right here just so you can see it. Bada bing, bada boom. We got the 12th on that one. And this is the meta golem deck. We're going ahead and hit time 2 speed on here because I want to throw a couple other games in here besides just the one. So we didn't know what to start off with it since he has that going on, kind of seeing what he's got. Typically when you see a tombstone, you're thinking a golem deck already right off the back. We threw down a little distraction there for the ice golem. We're sitting on max elixir. He's picked that side up, so we dropped that down. He drops down the golem in front, which is absolute crazy. I was thinking about putting down the Skarmy, but we didn't end up going with the Skarmy, and the Inferno was the great call right there. Alright, so he throws down the Tombstone with the homie, and take out his tombstone as it dies. It explodes right there, and no shots. Ooh, he got a half shot in there from an archer. Getting a zap in there. We're going to go on ahead and put our ice golem on here, trying to see where we're going to stand. We throw down the Xbow. Once he put down his golem, we thought that we could be able to slide that in. It was kind of a bad call on our part, but after he kind of went on there, it looks like he didn't even attack or look at the golemites. And guys, that's the weakness right there for the Xbow, is that you can lightning it, and the tower, it gets great value. It's also how you beat the Xbow. You also want to be able to put something down to distract the Xbow to kind of finish off, let it shoot with everything it's got. So that was a relatively easy win. Give him the laugh. I'm not sure exactly why, but that was crazy, guys. That was crazy. Xbow, it wins. I hate it. It's dirty. Yeah, I don't know. This was kind of a crazy win right here, because this deck probably should not beat the Xbow deck. So that's why we're going ahead and go through this as well. We're going to put it on the time 2 speed. So he starts off with the minor goblin barrel, and we just kind of distract right there, and then we log everything away. We're up in elixir, so we're going to go on ahead and drop our Xbow, get that going, drop down the ice spirit, drop down the ice golem. we kill out his Skarmy, and then it practically ended up killing all of that there. So that was kind of a bad play on his part. You never want to double up on the splash damage, but this deck is pretty vulnerable. Guys, this deck right now in this meta is currently taking over the game. So we just put down the ice spirit in the back. The crossbow, the Xbow, whatever, is going to end up chipping away there, and really that's it. You just kind of, whenever you use this Xbow, is just kind of looking for the perfect timing. You don't always want to just drop it down in the beginning, because That's typical situation. It just it does work sometimes. You typically want to have a little push going on, have them defended, kind of figure out what deck they have and how they use it properly. Just like any of your other decks, you want to play it slow. You don't want to sit here and try to win the first. You don't want to sit there and try to win first push at the game. And I was talking to Joe Mike about that earlier, and everyone else. Typically, the person that pushes the hardest in the beginning is the one that typically loses. That's normally whenever I have a hog. I normally just send a naked hog on down just to see kind of where I stand. Sometimes if I have an ice golem, I might commit 6, but I need to have some kind of something on the backside to be able to defend so I don't lose the tower, being a little slightly aggressive. I keep trying to tell myself I'm not going to use the lightning on the first push, but sometimes I do that too, and sometimes it pays off. But yeah, so I got some great wins on here. Also played some ladder matches as well in between some of that. I also lost some as well, which is pretty funny. Anyway, so we're going to go on ahead and take a look at what Mold is using. I guess he was being too salty there to even give me a thumbs up or good luck or anything like that. But I just watched his last video and it was just nothing but complaining about Royal Giant. I get it, man. It's not an easy card to it's only hard card to beat if you don't know how to counter it. And that's the thing. I get it, you're dropping troops on the bridge and it sits there and does 9 million damage, but you know what? It's also very easy to counter and it also costs 6 elixir. So that's just like an Xbow or anything else. They're strong and powerful cards. Costs 6 elixir, and you got to know how to counter it, and you got to be able to have the cards that counter it. If you're not, you're going to lose, and then that's typically where frustration sits in, and is when you don't have the counters. So this is my deck that I used in the last video, guys, and I went back to try the lightning instead of using the fireball. I really enjoy using the lightning. Like I said, if the fireball is almost more like training wheels, I like to say, then the lightning is the full-fledged. You take the training wheels off and you're ready to ride. Because that card will lose you the game though, so you got to be very careful on using that. And this deck, I don't even know what he's actually doing right now. It seems absolutely weird. I do like how the Barbarian Hut is kind of coming back. I actually played with it earlier. I kind of made up my own deck. It was kind of like using this kind of deck, but instead of using Tombstone, I was using the Barb Hut. Played around with that, but if you're going to do that, you don't want the 6 elixir cost, so you want to go on ahead and throw the Fireball in instead of the Lightning. So go back to the old deck if you want to try the Barb Hut out, and just change that up. Alright, what up, Fat Cat? Alright, so yeah, that was kind of how she goes. Just kind of slow rolled him, played him slow just to kind of see what he was doing here. At this point, he's 3 lightnings he's done, or if I can get a hog in. I kind of got a good distraction going on right here. I did not mean to, my finger slipped and I accidentally hit his king tower. But at this point, it's practically a good game. I just have to play really good defense. Obviously not making too many mistakes. Just kind of let him spend as much elixir as he wanted to. That's how that goes. But guys, in the previous meta, about 2 or 3 seasons ago, a popular deck that was being used with the hog, and see, that was a great play. I put the Ice Spirit in the back, and then I put the Mega on the hog. The Mega did get distracted, so he did get some good value in there. But in the previous meta, guys, the Barbarians were being used instead of kind of like one of the other filler cards. That was pretty sweet. The Ice Spirit just jumped over the log. Like, nope, not happening. So yeah, and that's kind of the theory here with the Barb Hut. I don't have a max log yet, but if I had a max log, that would have been the game. So Molt had one extra little push in here. It's not going to be successful. I knew it wasn't going to be. I've played very slow and also played this very smartly. His push just isn't going to work, especially in the log meta. You don't have enough stuff here to zap and log. If I had his deck, I probably would have put in a gob barrel or something else that you need to zap. But with everybody else now, they're also kind of playing like they're playing like they're playing like fireball, zap, log, because everybody keeps running these decks. But it's complete straight terrible when that's kind of what we're kind of seeing right now. So yeah, so Xbow's still alive with glory, guys. Great, it's still a great way to win. Still a great way to win in that. Now, guys, I really thought, I don't know. But this is the other Xbow deck that's being used currently in the top 200. If you're wanting to use the Xbow, really good card. I saw it when kind of like the last season or beginning of this season. It was being used a lot more. It seems like people have kind of backed off of that in the top 200 currently. Not sure exactly what this guy was doing. I'm not sure why you would put your Xbow right there on the instead of putting it on the bridge. I think he really messed up, and then really messed up here on that part. But that's fine. I'm going to take some damage. He can rocket my archers all day. He did get my Ice Spirit there, and I pushed the Ice Golem back. Ice Golem is such a great distraction card, and it pushes everything back. I'll even push back a Golem. So, it's really solid card. Great card. If you don't have it maxed out, might not be a great option for you, or if your cards are not leveled at that same time, might want to go on ahead and start playing some challenges to lock that out. I put down the Ice Golem to distract while I sent my Hog over there to polish off the Hog and the Mega Beating, polish off the Xbow over here, and then we went ahead and Lightning. Maybe a little bit slightly prematurely. If I could have just waited another second, I could have got the Xbow in there too. Called that dunce. But as you guys can see here, I was kind of experimenting. Another reason why I was showing this game, I was experimenting just changing out cards for the Tombstone. I was playing with the Furnace and everything else. I'm not going to say anything like that. Give me a cry face. Guys, I don't mind playing the Xbow, but I feel like a complete scumbag. I absolutely despise the Mortar, Royal Giant, and the Xbow. I do not like these cards at all. But we did get a 12 win, so I really wanted to highlight that. I have no problem playing these cards I do not like, and I can win with the cards I don't like, but it's not my thing. I feel like, if you guys are going to, I think was it the old book, The Art of War or whatever, you got to know your enemy to defeat it. So that's kind of how this video is kind of about. Those are two great options for Xbows if you want to do that. I'll hate you for it if I have to play you in challenge and I'm not using it, but you know what, I can also be a complete scumbag and figure out how these things kind of work. So just kind of play keep away and just kind of figuring out and looking for a spot where you actually can drop, and then you also have enough elixir on there after, to say, like, you have you defended with less elixir, then you can go on ahead and drop the Xbow, and then you put down the Ice Golem or put the Ice Spirit in the very back, then drop that down, and then just kind of, judge off of that. So it's not easy, and it does take some skill to use. Unfortunately, I hate to say that. You do have, I've even seen some of them with like 3 spells, which could be like arrows, log, fireball. I mean, you've seen kind of pretty much everything. But having 2 defense is very, very tough for any kind of Hog Rider or any kind of cards that you're trying to get across, because that's why the Mortars decks are so frustrating, as people, especially when people use like a cannon and a Tesla and you're using a Hog, because they always have something to be in there. A buddy of mine, Jordan, used to always play the Mortar, and whenever he played the Mortar, he didn't only just use 2 defenses. His strategy was 2 defenses and Ice Wizard. That's 3 defenses. And Ice Wiz is the best defense, one of the best defensive cards in the game. You could probably put the Bowler in there as well. But these cards are also something that you can go on ahead and push to other lands. So, maybe that's a good deck too, is an Ice Wiz, Bowler, Inferno. So yeah, it's something, that's another option if you guys are looking for more defensive-oriented decks. Me personally, I like to keep a deck nice and cheap where I can cycle it very, very fast, and I can get to the tower and have direct damage. And that's typically why I like the Hog. It feels like a faster pace. It feels like, I have to figure out how I can get around these cards and how I can get there as fast as possible and inflict the most damage. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my scumbag Xbow win. And yeah, so I'm not being a jerk to I'm not putting anybody down. I do understand there's tons of frustration in this game, guys. I got a lot of guys in my clan that get frustrated down to daily. I mean, these guys like Joe Mike, he's been in the top 200, top 100, you know, whatever this whole season, and now then he went on tilt and he just feels like a bad player. So don't get your hopes up. You know, I just suggested a deck change. Or a modification. So maybe that's it. Maybe you guys are struggling with the deck. You really like your deck, but it's not working. Maybe there's a card or two or a different variation out there that you can kind of play with and tweak. Where it's kind of like with me at the hog here. It's kind of like, you know, your second sense or whatever, and it's kind of where your comfort level is and your comfort zone. Guys, Royal Giant is really, really good card. The Royal Giant Lightning deck, as I looked at in the other deck, I even help another player out how to be better with his Royal Giant. I am not a big fan of it. I'd prefer to play with Hog any day, and it's my favorite. But I do know how to win with these decks. I do know how to play with them. But yes, I get frustrated as well, guys. I mean, we all like, I've sworn to never play this game before, like for like a day or maybe two. I don't even remember. Maybe it was a couple. And then like I needed to go to the bathroom, and I was sitting there bored on my phone. I'm like, okay, I'm going to play a couple matches. And a couple matches turn into like, you know, a 12-game win streak. And I'm like, this is the best game ever. And I completely forgot about my veto to never play the game. So there it is. Take a break. You know, even take a day off if it's giving you that much frustration. Don't let this game control you. You guys have fun playing this game. And I hope to see you guys on the next video. Throw up a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And see you guys. Peace, y'all.